great future. We're talking real money.
Another hour of conversation, information, elucidation, education, irradiation. No irradiation. It's all pretty safe. But a lot of interesting conversation about money at 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255.
You left off emasculation, of course, which is always a big part of the show.
Yeah, I hate mentioning that because it makes me feel bad.
Okay.
Every time I'm emasculated.
Okay, but it's part of the deal. You gave the number?
Oh, was it in the contract? 855-935-TALK.
Get your calls in now about anything when it comes to money, by the way. And oftentimes people use the end of the year to start thinking about how much tax they have to pay or kind of getting their financial house in order. I know. But it's a good time to be doing those things. And that's why we're here.
Oh, yeah? Is there something I should be doing?
Well, there's a number of things you could do. There's a number of that people sort of forget about. Number one, an easy one, is max out your 401k contribution.
Oh, because that gets you a tax deduction.
Correct.
Sure.
And most people sort of forget about that. And you can really,
what if you have a Roth? What if you have a Roth 401k?
You can make, then you're not going to get a tax reduction.
Yeah. You know, tax-saving tips used to be plentiful.
Indeed. And it's harder
these
now.
These days, it's harder now. There are fewer loopholes.
There are, indeed. I mean, you could still make charitable contributions if you're doing the whole itemized thing, which has changed a bit, too, under the tax reform bill of last year.
Yeah, I actually had somebody, an accountant friend, say, you didn't itemize this year. I said, oh, yeah. You had enough to itemize? Yeah, plenty.
So, those are two of the ones that people forget. And then the other one you could still do. So just met with somebody who talked about this the other day. He bought a portfolio in 6-8 months ago. And pretty much everything is underwater. So he can sell that and save the losses to come against future gains. So you don't really get a tax deduction this year, but you do get to...
Well, you do actually.
Well, that's true. You could take it for this year, and then henceforth,
you get a $3,000 deduction against income.
Correct,
and it directly offsets any. For example, let's say you have a loss in your mutual fund.
Yep.
But because your mutual fund went down in value, they had to sell some shares that had appreciated over the years. And at the end of the year, they distribute a capital gain. That happens all the time in declining markets. Mm-hmm. So you get a capital gains distribution on a mutual fund portfolio that's underwater.
Yep.
So sell that fund and at the exact same moment buy a similar but not identical fund from someone else, from another group. So, for example, if you sold the Vanguard Total World, you could buy a Total World fund from
Schwab's
Fidelity or someone, or Schwab.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And just as long as you don't buy back the Vanguard fund until 31 days later, you're fine. You get to take the loss, offset the gains, offset some income, and anything you can't use this year, you can just keep carrying forward ad infinitum.
And here's another one you could do.
As in all the way to the future till you're dead.
If you're feeling flush, you can defer income till 2019.
I'm a little flush.
You look a little flushed. You could defer some of that income to next year. Reduce how much you're taking in.
Payroll income.
Correct, yeah.
Say to your employer, don't pay me till next year.
Well, I'm always hoping somebody just says, don't pay me. I love working here. It's a great place, great environment.
Yeah, so. I love working here too, but pay me.
Okay. And you miss the tasty Tuesday morning muffins too, so you're really missing out on a lot.
Yeah, I think I need a muffin reimbursement.
Something, yeah. I'm going to throw you an old bagel or something.
The monthly Mexican food reimbursement.
Yeah, let's not go there, okay? Because you did miss the thing. You missed the Thanksgiving thing too, which was good, really good.
Oh, did you get up and gobble for the staff?
I did, because Thanksgiving isn't without Tom Turkey. It's really not the right holiday. Yeah. So it was good all the way around. So we got to have it there at the office and at home. So
I was going to try and get my wife to gobble because she's a Virginia Tech Hokie.
Oh, that's right. She is a Hokie. Yeah.
Yeah. They're the Fighting Gobblers.
Is that right? Really? That's the name? Yeah. The Fighting Gobblers?
Gobblers.
Wow.
Well, it's the Hokies, but they also go by the Fighting Gobblers.
That's just ferocious. I mean, if I'm going up against those guys,
nothing
I'm like,
scares me more than a wild turkey. Actually, a Virginia Tech student drunk on wild turkey
yeah.
scares me more than a wild turkey.
Yeah, that's a good point, by the way. That's a good point.
So, yeah, there are things you can do to save money on your taxes.
Yeah.
There are things you can do, and we really didn't elaborate enough on this in the last hour. There are also things you can do to deal with markets like this. Mm-hmm. And this is one of the things that we really need to impart and just burn it in your brain. How to invest so that markets like this do not concern you. We'll do that in a bit, but give us a call. We'll try to help you out at 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Keeping the podcast breaks as painless as possible is my goal. That's why I want to very quickly tell you about the only magazine I've ever heard of that is 100% real investing all the time. There's no business news, no speculative advice, and certainly no lifestyle stuff. It's called Real Investing Journal. I publish it every quarter, and you can get 2 full years for only $25 at realinvestingjournal.com. That's realinvestingjournal.com.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
Once again, the number here is 855-935-8255. I'm Don McDonald. Tom Cox over there. We're the hosts of Talking Real Money, the only show you really should be paying any attention to when it comes to investing, because almost all the others are really bad.
I've heard there's fewer of them now, by the way, here in the Seattle area.
Probably
Some of them have gone
because
off
they've
the
been
air.
giving bad advice and nobody's listening anymore.
For whatever
hopefully.
reason, but they're not there.
We want to drive them away.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
awful. You know, it's funny. I'm starting to write for an online publication,
Which is
The
called
name
what?
of- I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
I forgot. But it's really funny. It's a millennial publication, and they almost all of the articles. It's when you're younger, you think you can game the markets. You think you can get rich quickly.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of articles about timing and trading and options and passive real estate investing. And I tell you, these guys swear by passive real estate investing.
Give me the
They claim
definition. That's just where you buy the property and somebody else manages it for you?
Yeah, that's where you just put money in. You get some guy who's out there buying a bunch of properties,
okay.
and you give him
Okay.
some money.
I see.
And he gives you back income until the day when he doesn't. But they all believe that he will forever because
Okay,
they
but
somehow
setting that
think
issue aside, I
that
mean,
it's a spigot.
okay, but so what is your expected return on that sort of?
Oh, some of the numbers I've heard quoted are as high as 12% a year.
Yeah, I mean, this is where the here's something to consider along those lines for those of you thinking about this. If it were easy to make 12% a year, there truly would be no U.S. stock market because nobody basically has made 12% a year. Not even the best, brightest hedge fund managers haven't made that. So instead, you just be giving it all to that guy and having him hand you back your 12% every year. That's what I would do, by the way. But
Well, yeah, and
it doesn't
the
exist.
problem is that they believe it because of recency.
yeah.
Because it has worked in their memory. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to explain to the managing editor, nice guy of this publication, I'm going to be writing for them once a month. I'm still looking for the name has escaped me.
That's
so I've got
okay.
to look it
Well,
up.
hopefully somebody wrote it down for you somewhere.
I wrote it down because I sent it to you in an email.
Oh, then I'll
That's what I'm looking
I'll
for.
find it for you. So,
But
yes.
I was trying to explain to him that I've got better perspective than they do. And that, it makes me this old grandfatherly type going, yeah,
Can I stop you right there? You are
know, they
the
don't
old
listen.
grandfatherly type. You've got grandkids you just saw over the weekend. So it fits.
Thanks for reminding
I'm
me.
sorry. That's nothing wrong with I'm grandfather too. I kind of like it. So it's fun. I know you had fun with it too. So
I did. I actually.
no, but what you're saying is it's
totally
hard to
enjoyed-
come in and say, "Well, I know better because I've been around for 40 years."
Exactly.
Yeah,
but you know,
that's
the
not what that
reality
wouldn't be
is-
my argument. My argument would be the disinterested academics who have been around, and Eugene Fama, for example, over 50 years. I love that piece of video that we have with him saying, yeah, I've come up after 50 years with like 4 or 5 things that really determine the returns of stocks not like Wall Street where they come up with a new one basically every week. That's why I trust the academics. That's who we believe in and the work that we think you should pay attention to. My take.
I found the name.
Oh, good.
It's called WealthFit, and it's actually a very good website for young people. And I told him, I said, because he was really excited. He said, "You're going to write for us?" I said, "Yes, I'll write for you. I would love to write for you." He invited me. I went to the FinCon thing, and he met me there,
great.
and then he invited me to write. And I said, "But here's the deal. I am going to slam most of the stuff that your people write."
If they're writing market timing and options trading and shorting,
I'm okay
and
with that as long as you don't attack the passive money managers, the passive real estate guys.
Oh, passive real estate guys, because they're probably writing the checks for the thing.
I guess,
Okay.
yeah. So, and I was looking at the podcasts on iTunes, and the vast majority of the investing podcasts on iTunes are about real estate investing, about this concept. And they're almost all hosted by millennials who fervently believe in this. And I guarantee you they're going to fervently believe in it until somebody pulls the rug out from under them, which they didn't see coming. Again, these people aren't even old enough in many cases to remember what happened in 2007.
Yeah, that wasn't that long ago, actually, and I think real estate had a tough time.
Think about it. When these guys are in their 30s, they weren't investing in real estate in their 20s. They didn't have any money.
Good point.
And they certainly didn't do it in the 90s when we had that, particularly the Western collapse that hit Arizona, Colorado, California, Nevada. All of those got hit. This will happen again. It happens all the time.
There is no easy 12%. There's no easy 12%.
No. There's no easy 8%.
No, there really isn't. No.
As a matter of fact, even funnier, I was listening back to my old shows,
back
show
in the
from
day.
November, from 1988.
Yeah.
And a woman called and she said, I can't decide whether to go into long-term. I'm thinking that interest rates are going to go higher, so I think I'm going to wait and get in long-term bonds. I'm going to go into short-term bonds now.
You already told me this off the air. Is this the...
Yeah.
Oh, this is an amazing story.
And I said, why would you want to do that when 30-year treasuries are yielding 9.87% right now?
I want everybody to hear that. 30-year treasuries were yielding 9%.
No, 9.8, it's 10%.
Yeah, okay, pardon me. Yeah.
So if you bought that bond in 1988...
Guess what?
It would this month be maturing, and you would have gotten a 10% check every year, 10% return every year on your money.
That, by the way, is an investment I do think you can trust in the pretty long term. By the way, what's the 30-year paying today? 5 something? No.
No,
4
not
something.
even.
Because I keep reading Jeffrey Gundlach saying, "Can America handle a 6% 30-year treasury?" I keep thinking, is it that high? It's not that high, is it?
No,
we don't buy 30-year bonds, and I wouldn't recommend it generally. But
let's see, 30 year. I'm looking for the.
It's got to be around there somewhere. But
I know I should be able to find it right away. It's supposed to be on this page, but for some reason I'm not seeing it.
I mean, that honestly that's a great story to hear about somebody that got 10% being in long-term U.S. government bonds.
No, the current 30-year Treasury yield is 3.31%.
And yet, see, these are the headlines that drive Jeffrey Gundlach, who's made a great name for himself as a bond trader, right? As a bond guy. Maybe he's the next bond king. I don't know. He's running around trying to scare the pants off. Bond guesser. That wow, can America handle a 6% 30-year? It's like we're barely halfway there. That's crazy.
Apparently, in 1988, we could handle a 10%.
It worked out. Apparently, they paid the principal and the interest on that. So, wow, that's a great story. So, congratulations.
I was shocked when I heard that, and I did. I told her to buy the 30-year Treasury.
Go ahead. It's 10%.
And guess, let me assure you of something. I had no idea what would happen in the future.
Yep.
No clue whatsoever. There was just something telling me, wow, 10% absolutely safe. Sounds darn good to me, sir. Thank you, and we'll be back. 855-935-TALK is our number, 855-935-8800. 8255.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
You know you need investing and financial advice to enjoy a better future, but you have no idea where to get it, right? The one thing you need most, you're probably missing, and that's a plan, because most of the financial services industry is concerned with making the next high commission sale instead of spending the time to understand your needs and fears. If you're looking for a 100% pure fiduciary, and we'll put that in writing, low-cost, fee-only advisor who puts you first, give Vestory a call at 800-386-3004. That's 800-386-3004, or visit us online at Vestory, VESTORY.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
Fake snow in my town
Fake
tonight.
snow is about to come down in your town, and the tree's getting light.
hate
You
it.
better get into the spirit, bro. Get with it.
It Snopes every hour at 6, 7, 8, and
I love
9.
that. Snopes.
Do you? Really?
No, I don't really.
Really?
But you know what? It's the holidays. I'm going to go with it. I
No,
don't want to
it's-
because we had a little economic discussion at my house yesterday about the tree. Because I said you really don't have to buy the biggest, honey, blah. And you know what she told me? Turn around, take me home. She said, "Christmas is the one thing I do." So either you go. Which one are we going to do, honey?
She does
This
Halloween
way?
too. It isn't the one thing.
I know, but not like. I mean, now literally we have 5,000 lights up. So, and we're putting the tree up this afternoon, and so what do you
Bah humbug.
get over it, buddy?
Nope. And tourists will be here
Yeah,
in
they will.
droves. They will be
Hope
parked
they
in
don't
front of my
slip on the
house.
Snope out there.
And then they have a plastic ice skating rink
Yeah. Okay.
because you can't keep. It's Florida.
Right.
You can't keep
right.
ice cold.
80 degrees. Yeah. Sorry.
All right. Anyway, 855-935-TALK is our number. Let's go to Bob. Bob, welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hey, Bob. How can we help you?
Well, about over 5, 6, 7 years ago, I bought 128 shares of Amazon stock at 98 a share. I want to take advantage of the gain that I have, but I don't want to pay a ton in capital gains. And I'm just trying to think of a way. And obviously, I want to keep the stock long holding. But any recommendations on what I can do to be able to hedge any of those capital gains if I sold like 28 shares of it or something?
Okay, you have 28 shares.
No, I think he said 128 shares.
128 shares.
No,
So you want to just
I have 128 shares,
Yep.
but I want to sell like
128, okay.
28 of them.
Okay, well, there are a couple of things. One, you can sell the 28 shares and look through your portfolio for other things that have gone down.
You have any of
Do
those?
you have any of those things?
Just 401ks.
Yeah, that's not going to help.
No,
you.
you can't use those, darn it. Then the only other thing I would do if you're wanting to do that is I would sell a portion in 2018,
Which is coming
and
up the end here, yeah.
because we're already at the end of 18, and then hold do 14 shares in 18 and do 14 shares in 19, so that you spread the gain out so that it is at a smaller capital gains rate.
There is no other trick to all that I know of.
Are the capital gains laws going to be changing any further? You're aware of?
Well, if I
I
ran
don't
Congress,
predict congressional-
which I don't, my guess on capital gains tax
They're going to
rates.
stay the same.
What's your guess? I know what mine is.
I think they'll stay the same
I think
next
they will
year.
next year, but I think in the
Next
long
year.
term they will go up. And I
Right,
think
but
there's
I
a
think
great
next year you're
potential that you'll have a capital gains tax right here in the great state of Washington. My prediction.
Oh, well, that doesn't surprise me.
No, it doesn't surprise me either. That would be so.
But I think you're
Tax
safe
law
over
is tax law.
2018
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah, I
It
would
is
do what
very,
Don said.
very, very unlikely they will rewrite the U.S.
Yeah.
tax code effective for 2019. I
Yeah.
just don't see it happening.
No, I
So,
think, and we
that's what
wish
I
you
do.
well.
That's the only
Yeah.
thing. Either-
Dollar cost
there's
average
some other
out.
things you can do. You can put some other money in. Put if you haven't maxed your 401, put a little money there to reduce your taxable income. That kind of thing.
All right, let's go back to the phones. Lynn,
No, we
joins
don't
us.
have time.
Oh,
Really?
No, we don't
I
have time.
know
You're
why
right.
you want to rush before a break?
because I gotta go. I've had enough. I gotta go raise the tree or whatever it is today or whatever.
See,
get the lights
See,
on
Christmas
there.
stresses you out too.
Okay, we'll come to Lynn after the
I
bottom
have
of the
a
hour.
tree sitting in my living room with no ornaments on it, and I know that what is awaiting me this evening
Oh no.
is ornament hanging.
Oh.
And
It's not
I hate
my favorite.
ornament
It's
hanging.
not my favorite thing.
I hate ornament hanging. The only thing I hate more than ornament hanging
Yeah.
is in 4 weeks ornament removing.
Yeah, that's.
There you
Is
go.
it only 4 weeks from now? Really? It's going to be all over? You are a
5
depressing
weeks,
soul.
something
I
like
tell you
that.
what.
855-935-TALK. I try not to be depressing, but I guess I succeed. I fail that. 855-935-8255 is the number. Give us a call. Talking real money here on the radio.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Your number one financial goal must be retirement. As we live longer, our need for a substantial retirement nest egg has grown. That's why you must have a plan. And to help you map your route to a brighter future, I created Vestory's Better Retirement Guidebook. And you can get a free PDF copy right now at retirebetterbook.com. It's truly free and there is no obligation. So get your Better Retirement Guidebook now at retirebetterbook.com. retirebetterbook.com.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Real money on a Thanksgiving Day weekend. I hope you all had a really awesome holiday and are still having it because it's a holiday weekend.
I just
You
had
can keep
great
having it
turkey
for a while.
sandwich. Yeah.
I am a big tryptophan. I'm a
That
big
does
fan
not
of
surprise
tryptophan.
me. That does not
I have been
surprise
tryptophaning my way through the weekend.
me. Just
I
kind of
still have some
nodding off,
turkey left.
coming back, nodding off, coming back.
Oh man, a couple of nice naps in there though.
You
I
gotta
gotta tell
love
you,
it.
a couple of
Okay,
nice
Grandpa.
naps.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed
I
that. You got a
I've
warm
still got
blankie.
almost an entire turkey in the
Really? Wow.
Freeze it. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Good for you.
I cook extra turkey.
That's right, you
You
do.
gotta have extra turkey.
You do.
Oh, before we go to the phone, speaking of Thanksgiving,
Yes.
you're aware. I don't think you've ever listened, but as a hobby,
That's not a good
I
entry
read
to a-
stories. I read stories
Oh,
online.
okay, we're
I
going
have
here.
a podcast where
I have
read
not
stories
listened.
online.
I'll come clean on this.
It's called Lit Reading,
Yeah.
and I read
L-I-T.
LIT
Reading,
yeah, Lit
yeah.
Reading.
Mm-hmm.
I read classic short stories, kind of like audiobooks, but it's audiobooks when you don't have a lot of time for a whole audiobook. No, they're not any longer than 30 minutes. Some are as short as 3. They're really quick. But it was interesting. I wanted to find out. I had never heard a Thanksgiving story before. I heard Halloween and Christmas stories, but I'd never heard a Thanksgiving story. And I found one. So if you want a Thanksgiving story read aloud to your family over the weekend, go to litreading.com. I found a Thanksgiving story written by O. Henry.
Is this about Wild Bill Bradford, the founder of Thanksgiving? No? Okay.
Wild Bill Bradford.
Wasn't he the one who came up with the whole I thought that was his deal.
It was Abraham Lincoln.
Well, okay, he made it official, but I mean, I think Bill
Well,
Bradford
okay.
was the guy that said, we
Oh,
should
you
do
mean-
something with the Native Americans and all that stuff back in
that
the 17th
Wild Bill
century.
Bradford.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
all
could
right,
be
you
wrong.
go. Yeah, I think that was even before the 17th century, but I don't know.
All right,
Maybe
okay.
I'm wrong.
Okay. So,
But check
good
it
for you.
out at
Yeah.
litreading.com.
And by the way,
you can also check it out at Apple Podcasts and all those things.
yeah, I mean,
What?
you have a beautiful voice, and people would love to listen
Somebody
to that.
told me that.
Yeah, so
somebody
go for
told
it.
me that
Yeah.
once, and I love doing this because it's my. I can't go out and act. I don't have time. It takes too much. Takes too long. So this is my performance. This is like I get it out of my system once a week. I record a short story.
I
So
think it's
go
great.
check them out at
Everybody's
Lit
got to
Reading.
have a hobby.
Lit Reading. It's my hobby. It's yours. Is
wonderful.
going out and roughing
Yeah, I
soccer
know.
games.
I'm dumb. You're smart.
I on
got
the
it.
other. No. You're probably a lot healthier, but I'm a lot. I'm a lot less wet and cold.
That's a good point.
Yeah. All right. 855-935-TALK is our phone number. Lynn, welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi. I want to ask about a fixed annuity, 10-year one from. It's called Athene Agility. Do you know anything about that?
It's
I know
called
the
what?
Athene. I know the company Athene.
Agility.
Agility.
We'll have to
I've
look
heard
it
of
up
it.
because the annuity business, there are so many different products or so what, but tell us the goal, the reason
Yeah,
why
why
you'd
did you
want
get
to
it?
use it.
What-
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get it yet. I'm thinking about it. That's why I wanted to get some
Okay,
information.
why
or
might
what
you
your
want to
feelings
get it?
are.
What-
I want to
what
use
are
it
you
for my
looking-
retirement money, for my Roth IRA.
Okay, I wouldn't
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, I would
No?
never, ever put an annuity in an IRA. Annuities do not belong in IRAs. The only advantage to the extra fees that come along with annuities is the fact that they provide you with a tax-deferred growth of the income over time. But in a Roth IRA, that gain is gone. And this is one of those.
Well, now let's explain that. So in a Roth IRA, as you may know, Lynn, anything you ever take out of that, you're never going to pay tax on it.
Right. Yeah.
So that's a huge advantage.
Oh, Lord Almighty!
But I don't know this particular product.
Oh,
so this
I do. Oh! Do you know how much commission the person selling this to you is going to get?
3%.
9%.
9%.
9%.
Okay. All
If
right.
you try to
That's good
take
know.
your money out the first 2 years, you will pay the insurance company. You'll have to give up 9% of your money the first 2 years, 8% the third year, 7% the fourth year, 6% the fifth year, 5% the sixth year, 4%, 3%,
Seven geese
2%.
a
That is
laying.
one of the longest surrender periods I've ever seen.
I saw the one with 12 years not long ago. 12
Well, this is
long
1, 2, 3,
years.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
12
10.
years. Yeah, that's a long time. Okay, but so what you're looking for is some sort of stability, some sort of income. Is that what I'm getting?
Well, mainly stability and income at a later point, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And another thing about these products is they claim they're guaranteed, but the guarantee is only about as good as the paper it's written on. You cannot compare an insurance company's product with a government product. The other problem with this is an indexed annuity. You're going to get paid a lot less than they made it appear you're going to get paid. The average returns on indexed annuities over the past few years has averaged some of the things I've seen in the 3 to 4% range.
3.5,
Best case scenario. Best case scenario. So they're not as good as they make it appear, and they make it appear they're wonderful because they're trying to make a really big, fat commission. There are better ways to go, but it's going to require time to help you figure it all out.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Just as there are basic laws that govern our physical world called physics with a PH, there are also basic rules and concepts that impact our finances and investments. I call them financial physics with an F. In fact, 8 years ago, I wrote a book about them. For years, I've wanted to create an interactive version of that book to help readers better understand the concepts. So, since it was time for an update, I turned Financial Physics, with an F, into a special interactive multimedia version only on iBooks. It's the only platform that allows that. Because I want everyone to have access to this information, I decided to give this version away. Yes, it's totally free. So, if you have a compatible Apple device, go get your copy of the new interactive book, Financial Physics, on iBooks. It's totally free, and it's available right now in the iBooks store.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
Did you hear the report?
There is a real problem that most investors have, and it's totally understandable. We want a simple product. We want somebody to just say, this is what you need to do. Your life will be fine. And that is what insurance salesmen are really well trained to do.
Yep.
To tell you this is the solution to all your problems. You don't need anything else. And so that makes it a lot more difficult than we would like to invest the right way, which is what we're talking to Lynn about. She was pitched an indexed annuity with a high surrender charge, which always means a high commission. May not be 9, it could be 8, could be 7, but it's a big fat commission that they're getting. They make lots of big promises. They tell you can get the returns of the stock market with none of the risk, which is probably one of the biggest lies that ever came out of anybody's mouth, because if you don't tell the whole truth, you're lying. You don't get the total return of the stock market with none of the risk. So when you say you get the return of the stock market, the implication is you get the total return. You never, ever can get the total return of the stock market with none of the risk, or no one would ever go into the stock market. These
Be
guys
easy
are
to
so
hand
broke.
everybody all your money. And Lynn is back on the phone because apparently we did not answer a question in total. Hi, Lynn.
Hi, I'm sorry. I
That's
also wanted to ask you
quite all
about
right.
Vanguard funds. Could you give me a good fund for foreign funds for my Vanguard account?
You mean just a international stock fund?
Yeah, I meant international. Yeah, excuse me.
I think they have Vanguard Total International Stock
Total
Fund.
World.
We could probably get.
there's a Total International.
If you're going to just make it as simple as possible, you just own the VTWSX. That is the Vanguard Total
Which,
World
by
Stock
the way,
Index.
did you hear the big news on that?
No.
Vanguard turned all of those index funds like Total World Stock
I
Index
did hear this, yes.
into Admiral shares.
Well, $3,000.
at $3,000, which was what it took to get into their investor shares before.
Correct.
So they took the expense ratio on this fund down to 4/100ths of 1%.
And Lynn,
no, that
I
was on the
can't-
total world index.
I can't do the percentage difference between the average on these annuities, which if you put everything together is somewhere around 3 versus, what'd you say, 14 basis points, Don? 0.14?
I think it went down. Let me look at the total world.
But the Vanguard Total World Stock Index has about 8,000 securities in it in the U.S. and internationally. It does it at a very low cost, and I think it's a very fine fund. I mean, if you're looking for one stock fund, then you don't have to own one U.S. and one international. You can own one,
the Vanguard
period.
Total World now is down to 0.09%,
Good
9/100ths
That's crazy.
of 1%.
Yeah.
That is 9 cents
For every
per $1,000.
That's right. Yeah. It's considerably less than what you were considering paying the insurance company. Of that I can guarantee. But that would be
Total International.
Does that help you? He's going to get the
but
ticker.
what's one that doesn't have the U.S. funds in it? Is
He's
there a,
going to
That's what I'm
he's going to pull
pulling
that
up right
up
now.
Yeah.
Total International Stock Index Admiral shares is VTIAX, Vanguard Total International Index Admiral, but it's Admiral AX. VTIAX, total fees and expenses. This is an international
How much?
fund, Tom. 0.11.
Just really great. Can't do better than that,
It's
Lynn.
cheap.
All right. Hope that helps.
would you prefer one over the other?
Well, one owns the total global stock market. The other one just owns international. So it depends on what. If you already
Right,
have
so
one that
let's
holds
say-
the U.S.
I have the
Right.
US.
If you've got the total index, then use the total international stock index to get you that balance and rough rule of thumb, 50-50 is about right.
That's about what the world is when it comes to market
That's about what
capitalization.
the world is.
Yeah. So
actually, right now it's 53 U.S., 47 international, but 50-50 is pretty darn close.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
you're most welcome. Hey, I got
Very
a question.
welcome.
I got a
Thanks for
question
calling.
for you. What do you? And I
Really?
think I sent
I
this
hope
to
I
you.
have
What do
an
you think?
answer.
What do you think of this Evo Share 401k plan? Where they're going it's pretty interesting. Where I don't know how available all this is, but they so when you go shopping, you use your credit card, and then these retailers kick back. I mean, they have what's the word I'm looking for? You know, they share how much money they got from you, right?
Yeah,
Buyer- credit card
works with
purchase, et cetera?
I'm confused. Does it work with? How does
No.
it work with any?
Oh, I don't
who
know
does it
that.
Work with?
Well, no, because I think you have to have their card because you have to work with their retailers. You get
No. But I'm saying it could fund my 401k at my company.
because here's what they do: the retailers simply kick you back the money that goes right into your 401k. The idea is it gets people to say, it's like us with Acorns. It gets you to do something. This is for people that just won't. I'm not going to save anything. Doggone it. I got $1,000. It's burning a hole in my pocket. It's going away this holiday season. And in this case, you'd get the, 30 or 40 bucks that would go into your 401k. So it's a way to get people started saving. But it's not very widespread. It's
I'm just trying to figure out
how.
how you could. I can understand how you can put it in like a Roth IRA because you just give them the routing.
Well, no, actually, what
information.
they do is they just actually, it's tied into your company's plan. So the company takes the money from your check. They'd simply reimburse you that money. So it does actually come out of your check.
Oh,
That's the trick to the whole thing. So, but then they just
oh
give you
well,
the money
then
back.
a cashback card does the same thing for me.
But it doesn't put it in your 401k. It doesn't get you
Roundabout,
going. Well,
I could do it.
Okay, but that's what I like about Acorns. It's automatic.
How much do they give you back?
Well, it depends on the company. Depends on the deal that whatever the retailer is providing. Different retailers have different amounts.
I'm looking at their website and I don't understand it.
And it's similar to Acorns, right? Because Acorns has retailers
Yeah, but
where you can get
Acorns
those
is
deals.
clear. It makes
All right,
total
well,
sense.
I just throw this out
I
there because I
get
like people
Acorn.
doing something. Getting started. 10,000 it says
know,
merchants that do cash back. Walmart, Target,
All right.
eBay, Expedia, Groupon, some pretty big names there. At least they're saving something. Right? You do.
I just wish it would be less confusing. I don't think people are going to take to this.
I think you have. Well, no, I don't think this is for the public. I think you have to have this. This has to be part of your company-sponsored retirement plan. This article is written for advisors. This isn't an announcement for the public.
This isn't something for the.
No,
why don't we mention it on the radio then? If it's not for the public,
I got tired of you talking. I mean, the thing is, you could still do. It's the holiday season. You could still. I'm warming up for all the other social occasions coming up. You could still.
I mean, I looked at this earlier and I'm going, I don't understand.
No, it is for company-sponsored plans. You have to. The plan has to be associated with these guys.
So my company has to sign up for it, which my company hasn't done.
No, they're not going to do that. By the way, because you could still do, and I still think this would be a great gift for your kids for the holidays, because I know you're big on the whole gifting thing. You could sign them up for Acorns, and you could put some money into an Acorns account and get them to hook it up to their bank account so that money then starts being set aside. They start saving. It's invested. Wow, that would be a good one.
And here, even cooler is if you have a kid who has any kind of earned income, set up an Acorns Later account, which is their Roth IRA.
Is that up and running now?
I believe it is.
Because I keep getting their little ads because I'm still on I got a couple grand in the regular Acorns account. So.
Yeah. Acorns Later is ready to go. Okay. It's up. It's running.
There you go, Roth IRA.
Get that Roth IRA. Instead of giving them a PlayStation, give them a future. Really. You don't want them to have that silly game anyway. It sucks their brains out into the ether. And then the lizards eat it.
Are talking real money.
I just recently created a new and massively improved interactive edition of Financial Physics on iBooks, but I don't want to leave out those without an Apple device, although no other platform offers their interactivity. I have, however, created a free static PDF version of Financial Physics with an F that you can get right now at TalkingRealMoney.com. That's TalkingRealMoney.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
And by the way, none of those services like Acorns give us anything. We wish they did, but they don't. So we get no compensation for any of that stuff. But we can help you become a better money manager and build a better retirement based on science at Retirement Freedom. Don't miss this class, last one of the year, on December 5th with Tom Cock and attorney Rick Gregorick. Get your tickets right now at TalkingRealMoney.com, TalkingRealMoney.com.
That the information provided on Talking Real Money is for educational and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately and consistently predict the future. So past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Vestry, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit TalkingRealMoney.com for more information and disclosures. That should keep the lawyers happy.